Hello, welcome back. So, the global version of Where Winds Meet has released on 11/14/2025. Is a few days after, and I decided to share a few tips here and there about some information that might be useful for someone just joining the game or thinking about getting the game, because it is a free-to-play game. But it is a little bit complicated because it seems to mix a little bit of gacha and MMO into the game as well. So, all right, let's start with a few things. So, when you first start your character, this badge here can only be gained by playing on the hardest difficulty, which is Legend difficulty. Now, it makes the game much more difficult. So if you're looking for a challenge, this might be something to pick up. But if you play the game on this difficulty, anytime you defeat a story boss, this number on this badge will go up and you can display it on your profile. It's something to say, oh, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty if you want on your profile. So if you just really want this badge on your profile, you can do that. And if you want a challenge, you can also do that. Another thing, there's a bunch of events, missions, shop items that reset on the daily and sometimes weekly. One thing is the sects. Even if you don't have a sect, you can go into the Jinghu errand, and there's daily missions that will reset daily at a certain time. Try and do as much as you can with this, because there are certain items inside the shop that you can only get gaining these sect points. Another thing is make sure you develop the weapons that you want to use. So you're going to want to focus on upgrading 2 weapons, focusing primarily on 2 weapons. And then once you max those out, maybe consider going to a different weapon here and there. For the first few weeks, you probably want to focus on 2 different weapons and 2 different playstyles. So, like, the healing weapons are really good, especially if you're playing on the hardest difficulty and learning the parries and dodge mechanics of the bosses, because they are pretty difficult. So having a healing item can be pretty good. It's not necessary, but it is useful when trying to just not kill the boss as fast as possible, but to actually learn all of the mechanics, and you're able to make mistakes here and there. So pick 2 weapons and try to focus on those 2 weapons and all your resources on those 2 weapons. So right in the gear selection, you're going to see this enhanced. So these just affect anything that is in that slot. So you always want to upgrade these as much as possible whenever you can. Again, your profession. So right now there are 2 professions. There's healer and there is scholar. So when you have an option, you want to go in here and upgrade these as soon as possible. So you will collect these booklets throughout the game, and mostly you're going to collect these through one of the shops. So if you go over to offers and you go into an exchange shop, this is the season shop. Profession development down here. You want to purchase all of these as soon as you can. These reset every single week. And they use the Jade Fish, which is resources you get just by playing the game. Also, I'd recommend some of these up here for your combat stuff. And the Oscillating Jade is used for upgrades as well. Gear chest, because gear go above level 71s, you probably don't want to spend resources on these until much later in the game. So because the gacha system in the game is completely cosmetic, it doesn't give any type of power, it's probably better to avoid the gacha system for a while and just focus your J's on stuff that your character can actually use. So I wouldn't suggest buying these unless you really want the cosmetics. Right now I'm in the Silver Needle sect. This is the sect where you're supposed to heal people, and if you forget to heal a certain amount of people every week, you'll get points deducted. So make sure you're just participating in healing people. Every single sect is going to be a little different. So it's important to understand what sects you actually want to join, and some of these aren't even in the game yet. Before doing it, Silver Needle was just like, it was in front of me. It was like, yeah, sure, I like doing co-op and healing people. So I picked this one. But a lot of them are like You should only participate with certain people inside of that sect. Some of them are for PvP. There's a sect for like tricksters. There's like mysterious sects that don't really tell you what it's about until you actually join them. Like this one, Inkbound Order. See, this one is completely blurred out, but you can probably learn this from a guide online. So it's very important to actually research the sect that you want to join, because they'll have like different rewards for joining them. It's mostly cosmetic stuff, but when you pick a sect and join a sect, you probably want to stay with that sect for a while, like weeks, months. It's not really a good idea to actually just leave a sect, join another sect, play that sect for a week, then join a different sect. It's probably not a good idea to do it that way, since there are negatives for doing that. And so one thing about this menu here is there's tons of things that you can miss. So make sure anytime you see this, anytime you log in, be a good idea to like go in and see like what kind of upgrade, what can I do today? Because you're not gonna be able to do everything. So pick the things that you want to do them, see like what's new in here, what's new in Wandering Paths, see what stuff has reset on the daily. Oh, and another thing, this is your energy. Another thing is you want to always use this energy whenever you can. The best things to use this energy on is going to be some of the bosses and the outposts. Ideally the outposts, because the outposts give you upgrade material, and they're really easy early on. Another thing is some of the like raids. There's a bunch of raids here that you can actually do solo or in co-op. These give some really good rewards as well. In the sex screen, the errand screen, the sex, you'll have receive a like from a patient through healing. Drink once today. Complete Groot cultivation in Cultivation Blessed Lands. So you can do that. You can press go, and it'll just set you there. And then you can just go there and do things. With the Jinghoo errands, I just like click this. I fast traveled here, and this is it. I just gotta stay here, and I believe the game is still running even when you have it paused because it's online. And in that sex screen, the errands for the sex, a lot of those things will involve stuff from like here. And it also incentivizes you to actually do each of these at least once, because there's an extra reward for doing them at least once. So trials, this is where you're going to test your skills against the various bosses in the game. As long as you've beaten the boss at least once, this will open up for you. You get various rewards for actually doing it. You get like a badge for doing it on the hardest difficulty without taking any damage. And there's like a leaderboard. Yeah, there's a leaderboard. The bounty board has its own shop attached to it. So by doing bounties, you'll get points. And you can use these points for various cosmetic items. But it's a good idea to actually do some of this. So I would advise you to actually try and participate in some of these bounties. But some of these bounties, like, they're accepted so quickly that it's hard for them to actually get back in stock, especially the profession, all the healing ones. If you're trying to like heal people and you're in the Silver Needle clan, which is the clan I'm in right now, the sect, I mean, not clan, these will probably give you some of the better rewards, because like that bounty was so quick. It took maybe what, like once I actually joined the world, it took maybe like 20 seconds. But the thing is, because it's so easy, people have found out it's so easy and are constantly trying to actually join some of these. So it's like they come in and people accept them within like seconds, so you have to be quick to actually get them. Alright, so what did I go over? I went over, you should probably start the game on Legend mode, which is the hardest difficulty at the moment. I went over some of the developments where you should develop your gear whenever possible. And pick 2 weapons so you develop only those weapons. You should focus on upgrading your profession as well, using the shop. Using the exchange shop, the season shop over here, because they have a bunch of chests that you can use to upgrade your stuff. And it isn't clearly explained that this is here, so you kind of have to go looking for it. Make sure you check your events and new stuff, because there's a lot of things that you can like miss There's a lot of things to participate in, especially since the global version just launched on the 14th a few days ago. The gacha system, unless you're going to spend a ton of money on the game, I would recommend just not doing the gacha system, because it's purely cosmetic and doesn't grant you any type of power, but that's completely up to the player. Battle Pass. Check your Battle Pass, make sure you come in here daily after you played for a while and like claim all these points so you can claim some of the free stuff. And if you purchase the Battle Pass, you get even more stuff. Sex, check your sex, check the Jinhu errands. So these missions here will reset daily, but there is like a weekly limit to the amount of points you can actually get. Make sure you spend your energy, which replenishes daily, on either some of the bosses, outposts, or some of the like raid missions that you can do by yourself or in co-op. Trials is a challenge mode. Once you beat the boss in the game, in the story somewhere, you can attempt this challenge mode and they'll give you some special stuff, some upgrade materials, some extra badges that you can use in your accounts. The bounties are pretty good for improving your bounty, and the bounties have a special shop that can be used to buy dye and special cosmetics for the bounties. So because there's so much to do in this game, deciding on what you actually want to go in here and choose to do on a daily or develop, it's a good idea to actually have a plan when you come in here and know what you're going to be doing for that day, what weapons you want to develop, what progression you want to focus on, what items in the shop you want to make sure you check daily, check weekly to try and buy. There is another thing that I don't think I mentioned, but I'm going to mention it now. When you first start the game, you're going to enter this area. You're going to find this guy here, stuck in of rocks over there. And this is your oddity exchange. So as you're going around, you're collecting bugs and trinkets while just free roaming the world. All those trinkets and oddities you collect can be taken here. Now this guy, you just use those trinkets and bugs to actually upgrade things in here. Just permanent upgrades, max endurance, max life, more physical attack, damage versus elite monsters. This is just permanent passives you get by just trading these oddities and actually exploring the world. So yeah, make sure you're collecting all of those things, the beehives, the bugs, the enchanting lotus, doing all those little side quests, oddity missions that you see when roaming the map. You start around here. Start like here. When you first start the game, you make your character from over here, then you follow a mission, and it takes you over in this area. So just remember this guy, because you're going to be visiting him a lot. So, of course, there's going to be things that I missed that I haven't participated in yet, but that's because I'm locked out of it for like a level limit, or I just haven't explored everything in the game yet, because it is a pretty big game, and for a free game, there is a lot to do with this game. I just wanted to make a video explaining a few things for people that just started the game, or people that are thinking about starting the game. If you enjoy this, leave a like, follow, sub, whatever you feel like. And have a nice day.